Hello, how are you? Today we are going to listen to a beautiful story about peace. It is a story of water and soil. Here we go. Once upon a time, there were two kings, one and other. Their kingdoms were side by side. And while the most natural thing would be for them to be beloved friends, these two had managed to be loathed enemies. And the reason for this plight was a river. These two kingdoms were divided by a strong, lively valley filled with clear water river, which turning and curving and driving and splattering carried away everything that was in the way. Tree branches, villagers' hearts taken by the air, logs, rocks, and of course, soil from its riverbank. Water and soil were sliding, meeting at the sea and disappearing in its embrace. So the river was becoming wider and wider, but its level was becoming lower and lower. But for this natural change, King One was blaming King Other for stealing his water, and King Other was blaming King One for stealing his soil. Who? My water! Who took my water? Who took my soil? Who took my soil? You did it. No, you did. Why did you take the water? Why did you take the water? Why did you take the soil? Why did you take the soil? They were screaming and screaming, one to other, and their screams were never ending. One was pointing at other with his finger, then known as index finger, as if he wanted to claw the other's eye out. In the end, since they couldn't find a solution and they could neither find a stolen soil nor the stolen water, they decided to start a war. And whoever won would take possession of the defeated king's kingdom and the river. They immediately ordered generals and warriors who began to prepare in both kingdoms huge cannons, the cannons of the Mud War. These cannons were very effective last time. Thanks to their mud fires, they repelled a huge swarm of hungry locusts that were craving the valley's grass, which the villagers of both kingdoms were living on. So the soldiers of the one kingdom went to the bank for water and soil, while the same bank opposite, the soldiers of the other kingdom were trying to gather soil and water too, because bonfires were made of these two ingredients. So they began fighting each other, and as they were ready to attack each other, they realized the obvious, that instead of both fighting for the same things, they could be friends again for the same things. Water and soil belong to everyone, so they could share them instead of fighting over them. In order to make mud fires, you need cooperation, water and soil. That means the one kingdom and the other. Why are they fighting then? The warriors then called their fellow warriors, and they called all the others, and they built a bridge, and they began back and forth from one camp to the other, and once they met together enough mud fires, they began throwing them to the two kings. The kings were shocked but scared. And while they were running around, one bumped into other and fell down with a huge bang. And when they saw their faces covered with mud, then they burst out into laughter. They were laughing and laughing, and they couldn't stop laughing. And then the soldiers began laughing too. And the horse and the donkeys and the rooster on the roof and the candles and all the villages in both kingdoms until the night began to fall. Then they made the greatest feast in the history of fairy tales. The two kingdoms made up, united their kingdoms, and since then, every year around this time, they celebrated their union and their love with mud fires and a feast. And of course, they lived happily ever after. And for us, we are still looking for it. Why do we always have to fight without using our brains? Is that a human nature after all? And those knights, thank goodness, they and their kings came to their senses at the last moment. Life is joy and celebration. We have nothing to share with each other except for a nice meal, a dance, a song, and a hug. This is the real world, and it makes some people feel really uncomfortable. In the end, what did two kings accomplish? Which path did they choose?